are back for a closer look at this forecast. November overall was not a bad month. We had some weirdly warm weather. Then it did get cold, but not there were no like long-lived deep freezes.
Yeah.
Why do I think this time last year it was colder?
I mean,
no?
I don't have that type. It's funny, like there are meteorologists that can be like, oh, I remember that storm back in 1997. This one looks like, I'm not that guy.
Right,
like,
I'm not that way either.
I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday or like dinner last night. Like whatever happened in the past is the past, and I'm looking forward. So it probably was, and because you might have a better memory than I
was in
do.
Bangor, so maybe.
And it's a little colder, and northern parts of the state. But you're right, we haven't had too many big weather events.
Not really,
either.
a couple, but it's been pretty smooth sailing for traveling or whatever you needed to do.
And for all the holidays, we didn't have any issues around here. Well, today's one of those big weather days. I know the focus has been on this evening for the rain, for the wind, and the power outages, but don't put your guard down this morning, well away from the coast, up through the Oxford Hills and into the western Maine mountains. Belgrade Lakes area too, Sandy River Valley up near Farmington may have some issues this morning with some freezing rain. We have a little burst of rain that's coming down. I put temps on here so you get an idea where the problems probably are. Not in Portland, not in Cape Elizabeth, not in the South Coast, not inland through Buxton, even up to Sebago Lake it's okay. Lewiston's now 34. The mid-coast is above 40 in both Wiscasset and New Harbor. But as you go deeper inland, Naples is 33, Turner's 32, Livermore's 33. There's Mercer at 30 degrees. And this is flipping over from a little dusting of snow to some freezing rain and some freezing drizzle. So slippery spots are likely. The air mass leaving us was really cold last night, teens and 20s. We've now jumped up to 32 in Bangor, but because most of the city was in the 20s majority of the night, when precip arrives, back decks or front stairs, they might get a little glaze on them. So please just check your step and your footing before you go flying out the door and off to your day. There goes the high. This is the storm for this evening. Remember yesterday I showed you this front? There was nothing on it. Not a drop, not a flake. Now there is. The Gulf of Mexico is open for business, and we're going to get some drenching rain late today and this evening. A burst of rain moving through now with temps hovering around 32, well away from the coast. There could be some slippery surfaces and maybe some roads need to be treated. The bulk of today, though, will just be cloudy and gloomy, breezy and turning milder, but you're not going to get any sunshine, and there may be a little mist or drizzle from time to time. And then this wall of water arrives between 3 and 6 o'clock across the state. It is going to pour as the evening commute starts. There'll be a squall line, which is convective, kind of like a line of thunderstorms in the summer, that moves through between about 6 and midnight. And within it, that could be enough to bring down strong wind from aloft to the surface where we are. And those gusts could top 50 miles per hour. So during that time frame, it's going to be really loud with that wind. It's going to be kind of wild with the rain blowing in sideways. Hopefully you're home safe and just can hunker down for the event. And hopefully you don't lose power, but that's my biggest concern. There will be some temporary drainage issues when that heavy rain arrives and falls. We get about an inch in a 4 or 5 hour period. But it's really these winds that are ramping up through the day. This evening, they'll likely gust over 50 in some spots along the coast and also the higher elevations. And then that squall line quickly shuts off the rain. The winds flip to the west, which is a much better direction for us. The leaves are off the trees, so our threshold for power outages is higher, so that's in our favor. But the wind direction out of the south is not. That's a more vulnerable, I hate that word, I never say it well, vulnerable, I have to break it up into the syllables, I'm sorry, direction for our trees and our limbs. The west is better, and that's what we get overnight tonight and tomorrow. Blustery still, turning colder, but the sun is back. The sun is out on Friday too. And then we kind of get a repeat on Saturday with more rain and wind. Not as rainy and not as windy, so fewer problems, but we will get just as cold behind the storm for Sunday. Marine forecast gale warning seas 6 to 9, south winds gusting to 45. All right, watch out for a slick spot through the foothills and mountains this morning. Otherwise, the bulk of it arrives this evening. Heavy rain, gusty wind, shuts down by midnight. Tomorrow, sun is back. Friday's nice and bright, highs near 40. Saturday, windy with rain showers, especially during the afternoon. Sunday, the sun's back out, but we get another wave of cold in here to finish up the the weekend.
Back and forth and up and down.
Yeah.
Gotta need a scorecard for
I
that
hear
one.
ya.
Before you